Hey there guys, PrinceLaharlkun here, and welcome back to Let's Play Golden Sun. In the last episode, we went through Goma Cave and made our way to Bilibin, and here we are, and we obtained a couple of Djinn. I talked about really silly things in the last episode, and yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and explore Bilibin a bit. Bilibin a bit. Bilibin a bit. Bilibin a bit. Okay, that's stupid. Anyway, in this house, it's worth noting that if you head... little girl is in the way. I believe it's in here in this barrel. You'll get a hard nut. And as you... hard nut's really useful because it boosts defense. And we're going to go ahead and give that to Roy, because Roy is going to have the lowest defense and he's going to be the one taking the most damage. Because I've noticed for some reason that whenever I play this game, Roy tends to be the one to take the biggest beating. Off screen I did a little bit of grinding. I leveled up everyone to 7. Roy will always be about 100 experience behind. I've never played a game in which Roy wasn't behind in terms of levels, and I also bought him, what did I buy him? I bought him the Witch's Wand from the store as well, so he's pretty well geared out, and everyone's about as well geared as I want them to be. So, why don't we see if we can figure out what's going on in this town here? And, oh, that's interesting. So, a large group, huh? McCoy has been frightened since the incident. Like, what incident? Nope, she didn't say. Yeah, we were there. How about you? Ever since that man turned into a tree, too scared to go to the town's entrance, huh? Well, I don't think grown-ups turn into trees, but... Kolima, huh? What's Kolima? Kolima. Oh, thanks. Yeah, I did. So there's a curse, huh? His last words were that he had offended the sacred tree. So he ended up this way because of Lady McCoy's foolishness. If only she hadn't wanted to live like a queen. Okay, so it seems like this tree here was caused by a curse right here. And apparently it's because of someone named Lady McCoy. Alright. Well, usually, up here, is McCoy's palace. So now we can talk to the guard right there, but not yet. First, what we're gonna do is we're gonna get this nut here. This will be super handy. You look really important. Well, I assume you're Lady McCoy, so yeah. Oh, I see. So you think it's okay to just go around cutting down sacred trees so you can have a big house? No, ma'am. It is not that easy. I don't think you fully understand what it is you just did. Yeah, probably because I can only assume they were turned into trees too, probably. Well, anyway, if we talk to this guard here, we might as well see if we can't talk to Mr. McCoy here and see if we can't find out anything more. Well, what do you mean we don't seem the type? Yeah, I'm up to it. Yeah. Just because we're young, huh? Well, hey, at least it looks like things are getting better. That's good. So now we're here in McCoy's palace. You can actually walk around and explore a bit, and there's some items that are just like in some occasional boxes. But honestly, like, I think there might actually be one in here. No? Anyway, there's just some minor stuff like antidotes and smoke bombs and such. Really nothing that's particularly useful. So we'll just go see McCoy directly. Wait, his eyes red? His eyes look very red. Maybe it's just me. Inte Kolima. Ah, he's got a Scottish accent. I can't do it. Which is really sad because my family heritage is Scottish. Yeah? Why does everyone think we're, well, like, I mean, I guess we're young, but... yeah. I'm fairly sure we can. Oh, thanks. Well, that was easier than I thought. What? I mean, yeah, it's very irritating. And that's true. All we gotta do is prove ourselves. Easy enough. We did. Roy? Yeah, you're right, that is kind of scary. Yeah, see, Eric's on our side. Eric believes in us. You should too, Roy. Come on. Yeah! We have powers other people don't. We're gonna be fine. Yeah, see, he's on our side too, apparently. I like this. Looks like we're going somewhere. Yeah. We are. Really? We're on this again? Didn't we just explain to you that we're totally okay? If that were the case, then you should just keep us from leaving town so we don't get attacked by monsters while we're at it. Yeah, what about us? Really? So you totally said that we were okay, and then, like, a few minutes later decided, nope, I'm gonna take the key away. You're a jerk. You realize there are monsters outside that can attack us and kill us? I'm not sure what the problem is here. Whatever. We don't need your help anyway. You worthless sack of... Nah. No, I ain't gonna promise you that. Yeah. Yeah? We might. We might not. I mean... Yeah, you do that. Well, we learned an interesting tidbit of information. So, so I should have mentioned, if you decide to go to the east first and try to go through the barricade, you won't be able to actually go through it. So you have to go and initiate that cutscene right there. So, this is where the game gets really interesting, because our next objective is actually kind of obscure. So, you can go east, and you can go to Kolima, and you can do all that stuff there, but you don't have to. Well, not yet anyway. You can actually opt to go north, and go to that area instead, but here's the thing. If you go north, you go to a much more difficult area, and you'll have a much more difficult time because you're going to be underleveled and underpowered. The game technically wants you to go east first, based on the difficulty curve, but you do have the option of actually going north instead. So, I've been thinking about what I want to do, and I'm going to take the harder route and go north first, but I'm also gonna go east as well. I'll go east first as well. Now that might seem kind of strange, but there's a very good reason for it. Because you can actually get... Oh, and by the way, notice these lines down here? That means something is movable. Like, this box. Also, nice little tip, if you're not sure what to do with something, if you press the R button, notice how the entire screen went like sepia except this box? That means that this box is something you can actually interact with. It's actually really neat. It's a neat little tip if you're trying to figure out what can be moved and can't. And there's also a carpenter that if you talk to him back in Bilibin, he'll tell you that the thing was quickly made. Oh man. Why were they standing on top of each other though? That's really depressing. Anyway, we're gonna head east. But yeah, we're gonna head east to go get a little bit stronger first. And there's a really good reason for that. So up there is a forest that we can go to. And over here is a town we can go to. Now, it's worth noting that if you go into these, into one of these, you will get a cutscene. But if you only get one cutscene. So if you go into the town, you'll get a cutscene there, and if you later go into that forest, you won't get that cutscene. I don't know if I'm going to show off both of them, because they're basically the same thing, so we're going to go ahead and go into town. And this is what I can only assume to be Kolima. Yeah. I mean, it looks like everyone here was turned into a tree. Well, yeah, we've established this. Well, yeah, we learned that earlier, remember? Remember, Eric? Yeah, they hurt the holy tree, probably because the Lady McCoy told them to cut down the sacred tree, remember? And this is their punishment for that. That's a good question. Oh geez. Oh geez. And now we're on the ground. This is really bad. What the heck was that? And now the sky is purple. And now it is raining sparklies. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, we really need to move. We really need to move right now, but we can't. This is just fantastic. And hey, I'm a bubble. And the bubble is the sparklies are dripping off the bubble. That's interesting. Why do we have a bubble? And now the sky is normal. Yay! I have no idea. Well, obviously, yeah. Oh? It's energy. Really? Yeah, I don't think I did either. I certainly don't know any dome spells, and hey, you're standing. Oh, that's good. At least we're back on our feet. Quite literally. I mean, I guess so, yeah. That makes sense. But I also think that maybe synergy comes from something else? So not necessarily. Oh. Maybe I am a liar. But when you use synergy, what? Well, I guess technically was he trained in that? I don't remember. I guess we don't technically know either. That's interesting. So, some synergy acts only when we're in danger, huh? Critical hits, huh? Okay, so a small thing. I really like how the game does acknowledge that critical hits exist. Like, that's really cool that it's not just a video game concept, it's an actual, like, in-game universe thing. And that they actually call them critical hits, too. I guess it's sort of fourth wall breaking that they do call it critical hits, but it's also interesting that the critical hits are sort of, like, based on your synergy as well. I mean, that would be pretty cool, yeah, but I don't think that's possible. And this guy is purple again. But that's okay, because we can't be treed. And I'm a bubble again. And... hello. Well, because we have protective bubbles. You bet we have. And now you're depressing us. Thanks. Well, yes, but... we must reawaken his gentle side? Well, yeah, we just have to reawaken his kindness, right? Well, that's that's kind of where we run into a bit of a brick wall, isn't it? Yeah, I mean, I can't just give up. I can't just not do anything. Thanks, Roy. Alright, so here we are in Kolima. Oh boy. So I find it very interesting how, in this game, you do have this little conundrum here. These people of Kolima did take their axes to that tree knowing full well that it was holy. And yet, you're trying to save them even though they tried to do an incredibly bad thing by essentially destroying a life. But at the same time, you have to ask the question of, is their punishment right? You know what I mean? It's a really interesting little thing that I think is brought up very subtly, and is never really... It's really heavily implied, and I think that's part of why I really like this game, is that it keeps things very simple, and yet has little undertones like this. Like, this is a very dark thing, but it's kept in such a way that it feels a little bit lighter, even though these people are trees, you know? It's very strange, because, I mean, this game did get an E rating, so it's not like you're expecting anything bad from it. And I think that's part of why I really like this game, is because the RPG, the storyline elements in it are so basic and simple, and yet it's just so well done. Anyway, there is a Djinn here, and there's obviously a fence layer that we can't just simply climb over. And this one actually, to make a tree pun, stumped me for a while. But actually what you have to do is, there's a door behind here that will lead you to a ladder into a small cave where you can run into it. You can run into enemies down here. It's kind of weird, but you can. They're just the basic common enemies from outside. That's all they really are. Anyway, the whole game, the whole reason we came down here in the first place was to actually get that Djinn. So we're gonna take out these guys really quickly. Again, they're not that difficult. And you should be more than prepared for these enemies. You've been fighting them for a while. So, we will get our second Venus Djinn. Get granite. Now, granite will create a mighty earthen barrier. Interestingly enough, you can have Djinn that will create barriers. Unless I'm sorely mistaken, and I might be, and if I am, I'll correct myself in the next episode because I didn't look this up. A barrier will strongly reduce the amount of damage you take, but I can't remember if it lasts a certain amount of turns or until you take a hit. It's actually very, very handy. So now that we've got two Venus Djinn, I'll show you an example of what I meant last episode, where having multiple Djinn will change your class of the same type. See, Zack will go from being a squire to a knight, and his stat increases are immense. Anyway, yeah, huge stat increase. So now that we've got that, we can head back and get into more random encounters, yay! So now that we're done with that area down there, we're actually going to be leaving Kolima. And like I said, we are going to take the harder route of the two, so we're actually going to head back, and then we're going to go north. And we haven't really done a whole lot this episode. We really didn't get that much accomplished, so I'm going to go a little bit longer. Because unfortunately, these videos, if I want to get anything done, are going to have to meet a certain length requirement, honestly. Especially during the cutscenes, because these games' cutscenes drag a little bit too long. But worth noting also, the rat soldiers are actually a really good source of experience. Like, if you get really lucky, you'll fight 2 rat soldiers and 2 regular rats. And as long as you can take out the rat soldiers, they give quite a bit of experience. Like, see, just those 2 are 34 experience. You can actually get, like, upwards to about 60 per kill here. It's actually really handy. As you notice up there, it seems a bit snowy up there all of a sudden. And that's ultimately where our next destination is going to be. Now, like, these rat soldiers and this rat right here is probably going to give quite a bit of experience, to be honest. Anywho, now that we're at this cave... Anyways, now that we're at this cave right here, this is the Bilibin cave. And this is where we need to go next. Oh yeah, another example right here. So this is actually kind of tricky right here, is you'll see that there's a, I guess it's more like a little plant thing sticking out of the ground. Unfortunately, the only way to... Rather, not unfortunately. The only way to get this is to use a certain synergy called growth. Well, the only way to get growth is to make someone is to change a class. This is something that actually stumped me quite a bit. So you can actually use growth on that, and if you come up here, you'll jump across this ledge, and you can slide down here, and go into this cave entrance. And the reason you want to do that is to get this chest, because you'll get an elven rapier, and this is a really, really good weapon. Holy crap, it's really good. Since I already gave Roy one of those weapons, I'm gonna leave this on Zack and have him equip it, because the stat increases is really nice. Now, I'm gonna probably update Eric's weapons, just so he's not lagging behind in terms of stats, unless there's a new artifact weapon I can get that I'm just not thinking of. But it is very worth your time to get that. And I also forgot to do that, but I can show off Blast, yay! Well, maybe if things don't die real quickly. Nope. Yeah, Blast is a personal favorite of mine in terms of looks, especially when you get into the higher levels of Blast. Yeah, 81 experience. Now the experience gains are getting up there. Actually, we don't want to give him Flint. Oh yeah, another thing. So you notice how Zack has 2 Djinn, and they all have 1, but you'll notice I can't give a Djinn to Zack. That's because the game will make it so that you can't stockpile a whole bunch of Djinn on one. And if you go through the tutorial, they actually talk about that. And there's actually like a plot-related thing where the Djinn like to be evenly separated. So it's actually kind of plot-relevant to why you can't do that, which I thought was kind of neat. We're just gonna use fire on them. Or Ray again. Honestly, I'll constantly cast Ray with Roy until I get a certain move. that he gets very shortly. It doesn't take him too long to get it. And yeah, you get a lot of experience in this cave. So, if you do decide to take this route, you might actually want to consider grinding a bit, since it is more difficult. But not by a whole lot, really. Like, this right here is going to give us a good chunk of experience. Oh yeah, Spire. So I did get Spire off screen. I forgot to mention that. It's a single hit, it's a single target spell, but it's actually quite good. Yeah, it does quite a... Well, the enemies just ran and we got crap experience. Fantastic. And now there's these things. And we can't really do anything with those. At least not right now. But what we can do is we can push these. And that'll cause that ice to melt. And now we can walk across it. Maybe, if I don't get it to random battle. Oh, hey, I leveled up, yay! Well, Zach did. I guess that's technically me. Anyway, you can now come over here. And I think you're supposed to actually... Oh no, you can get this treasure chest. And you'll get a vial. Vials are the second best healing items in the game. They recover 500 HP. Again, this is probably not something we're going to use until endgame. Oh hey, learned Volcano. Yay! Okay, and now Roy learned Plasma. And Plasma is my favorite of his spells, actually. His synergy, rather. I mean, now that we come down here... Huzzah! We are now in Iceland. But not really. It's more like Snowland, not Iceland. And we're still fighting gnomes from the cave. And gnome! So, smaller enemies generally tend to run, but I don't remember it being this big of an issue. And hey, we're fighting a Mauler, and I should be showing off synergy, but I'm not, and he got stunned. Yay! And it's paralyzed. Yeah, awesome. Actually, I'm gonna have you defend, and I'm gonna show off Volcano. Because Volcano is a single target, and what better way to show off something than with a single target? And he's weak to it, and it killed him. And they give decent experience and money, too. And here we have our next town. We're in here in Emil. This game loves to use the depressing town music. Anyway, next time on Golden Sun, we're going to go ahead and explore Emil, and maybe we're going to find out some more stuff here. And this is where the hard path really starts. So until then, I have been PrinceLaharlkun, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Later, guys.